like I said, it rained in Pittsburgh the game between the Steelers and the Patriots earlier this year. And with the one spot, with one bogus call, I mean, not spot, technically it was a kind of spot, but one bogus call, the Steelers would have won that game playing without Joe Hayden, probably their best cover corner, making a safety change his position, a more rangy, less physical guy, coming in to play corner where you have to be physical with Gronkowski and you have to know how to play corner. With Joe Hayden not being there, he will be in the AFC Championship game. With Antonio Brown not being there, he most probably would have had some type of impact on that last second play that was the interception. I believe that those two guys, healthy and available, will make a big difference. Joe Hayden more so than Antonio Brown, because to be honest with you, no one could stop Le'Veon Bell from New England, and as a result, Schuster, okay, Eli Rogers, Martavis Bryant, there's still a lot of talent. Schuster and Bryant are probably really good starters, if not Pro Bowlers, if they're given the most attention to in another offense. But they're not, which is the luxury that having Antonio Brown does to the Steelers' offense. But even without him, they can manage at the wide receiver position. They have talent. They will be fine. I think that Tom Brady will make timely throws, will make great plays against a shaky Steelers secondary. I think Gronk is too physical of a beast not to make plays. They will score. They will score a lot. But they won't score in the moments where you don't need, when they should be stopped, because of what Joe Hayden brings to the table. It's going to be a very close game, but Pittsburgh wins on a defensive stop late in the game and by outscoring the other team. 30-25, give me Pittsburgh all the way to the Super Bowl. Now to the NFC. Minnesota, New Orleans. I like Minnesota in this game. I like them because New Orleans is a dome. New Orleans plays in a dome. They're a warm weather place. You don't feel those things in Minnesota. You feel cold. You feel how it affects on your body, how it tightens your muscles. And you feel that crowd everywhere. That Minnesota crowd longing to get to a Super Bowl that it hasn't gotten to in 40 years. That's what they're waiting for. And guess what? That crowd is going to make a big, big difference. Along with the weather. Not to mention that Minnesota has a great, great defense. But the reason why the cold will make a difference, the reason why the weather will make a difference is because while New Orleans will be able to make plays, Michael Thomas, okay, Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram. They have guys that will make plays in space, that will be able to put the ball in the end zone by themselves. This isn't just going to be Drew Brees. But the reason why the Saints lose this game is because Drew Brees will be forced into a mistake due to the cold, due to the wind. I anticipate the wind being something to watch out for. The wind, let me remind you, this is what made everyone so worried about Blair Walsh taking the field goal, which eventually he missed, obviously. But that's why there was trepidation about it. Because even though it's a chip shot, it's cold and it's windy and there's pressure. That's what Drew Brees will be feeling. All-time great quarterback, mind you, and he will have a very, very good day. But he will make that one mistake at some point in the game. You're going to know this is the turning point. Because it's cold, because it's windy, that's going to affect how he's able to throw the ball, and he's going to throw it in harm's way. And Minnesota will head to the Super Bowl with Case Keenum as their starting quarterback. First team in NFL history to literally play the Super Bowl at home. To play the Super Bowl at home. The Minnesota Vikings. And this will make a big difference. I love my Pittsburgh Steelers. I love them. But they won't win the Super Bowl. Minnesota will get their long-deserved victory because Adam Thielen will take advantage of that shaky secondary. Kyle Rudolph will as well. Kyle Rudolph will pose some of the same disadvantages that Gronk does to the Steeler defense, but because there are other guys that can catch the ball, Adam Thielen, right, Stephon Diggs, I forgot completely about him. It's going to be a lot harder for the Steelers defensively to mask themselves, like it will be against New England, because they don't have Julian Edelman, they don't have a major big play threat other than Gronk and Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks hasn't really done much, and if you put a safety over top of him, there's not much he can do. But Gronk, safety or not, on top of him, he's going to be a force to reckon with. When you have multiple guys that can make plays, Laquan Treadwell, I forgot his name, Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen, Kyle Rudolph, along with the two-headed monster in the backfield, it's going to cause some problems for that defense. Now, I always believe that individual talent, and this is one of the primary reasons why I picked a lot of the teams I picked, can beat a good defense many times to make it close, but not carry over to a victory. Antonio Brown will be able to make plays. Martavis Bryant will make plays. Eli Rogers will make plays. Schuster will make plays. Le'Veon Bell especially will be able to make plays. So will Ben Roethlisberger. In a dome where it's not cold, where you have 2 weeks to study that defense, where you've figured out that you have all this talent to utilize, and it's not just Antonio. I haven't even talked about the two tight ends, Vance McDonald and Jesse James. They have talent. Talent gets you where you want to go for the most part. But Minnesota has talent too. And Minnesota, because they like to bring pressure, will get caught against Pittsburgh a lot in man-to-man coverage. Antonio Brown will slice them up, or Schuster will. They'll slice them up, but at the end of the day, the Minnesota defense is just too good to not make plays at the end of a game with the home crowd bringing pressure, with Ben Roethlisberger less mobile, and you know, if it comes down to it late and Antonio Brown is in the game, he's going to try to force feed Antonio Brown the ball. With Xavier Rhodes on him and a pressure defense and a home crowd to support them, I think Minnesota wins it late. Wins a very close one late, to my chagrin. But it's going to be a great Super Bowl, a great playoffs, 27-25. Minnesota beats Pittsburgh in the Super Bowl. My NFC championship is 27-20. I don't know if I gave a score for my NFC championship. Let's say the same score for AFC, and that's what we're doing for the playoffs. And those are my predictions. Right back after this with more on sports. But we're shifting to politics for the next section of the Ashish Narayan Sports and Political Podcast. Most probably the last section of the day as well.